So some of that rain Paul's talking about comes in over the next 24 hours. It's going to be later today, tonight, tomorrow, the first half of tomorrow. That really helps add up to this much rain. A widespread 2 to 3 inches. That's the yellow background color, even 5 to 8. And we've got two of the burn scars highlighted, the Palisades and the Eden. I mean, those are big burn scars, but any of the fires from last year or even the year before are going to be spots susceptible to flooding and mudslides because of what happened due to the fires. The burn areas are left devoid of vegetation, and Paul shows some spots that are growing back a little bit, but it's not really been long enough for those roots to be substantial to really hold in the soil. So when you get the rainfall, soil and land that would normally hold on to the water and stay put could easily give way, and these areas could be susceptible for years after the fires. Right now, the showers have been on the lighter side. That's been the case through the morning. We had some heavier bouts come through earlier there around Oxnard and just north of there. And the rainfall estimates that we see show us that. I mean, that's where it's been a little heavier, but still not that significant yet. That's still yet to come. So watch the future radar. This is a forecast. This is a model, but where you see the intense rainfall indicated by the yellows and some oranges on this forecast radar, that's going to be the rainfall that we worry about. The rainfall rates, the really high ones, lead to the problems always. The little bit of light rain, most of the time, it's not problematic. But when you see this kind of rain for hours on end, like we could see for the first half of tomorrow, it really could be a concern, and especially watching some of those burn scar areas. Well, heavy rain events like this can trigger extreme devastation. Meteorologist Molly McCullum gives you a unique look at the science of landslides. And we do have that risk of excessive rain. Here's the outlook for tomorrow. It's likely that we will have some flash flooding there, watching an area from Santa Barbara all the way down through Los Angeles, possible beyond that. Doesn't mean that's necessarily going to happen. This is your sort of heads up that that possibility is here. This corresponds to a moderate risk on the Weather Prediction Center's outlook, but be ready for warnings. When there are flash flood warnings, that means that flooding is actually happening and imminent, and you need to take action. Now let's talk more about other spots across the country. Greg, what have we got in the Northeast?
Yeah, we got some rain showers and some snow flurries.
Just that, yeah, we had this recurving, recurving, as you said.
Right. So what we have here, we sort of made a little cleaner view of the tracks of the named systems this year. And it doesn't take a whole lot of imagination to look at them and saying, I think they're all kind of doing the same thing. Right. Right? And they were turning northward and out to sea. I kind of highlighted this area as a general path that a lot of them took, a recurvature one.
And there was a reason for that. And we had a persistent pattern. It wasn't like this every single day, but in general, we had a trough over the east. And that was both steering and shear to help these tropical systems stay offshore.
Somehow we managed to, more often than not, when a tropical cyclone was approaching the east coast of the United States, or at least trying to, there was an incoming trough in the jet stream to help deflect it out to sea. We saw that repeatedly, as evidenced by all those tracks.
Yeah, and it kind of begs the question, has this ever happened before?
No landfalls in Florida, you mean?
No land, well, just in, this pattern and the no landfalls in Florida, because that really stands out here. It's been a tough stretch for us. We'll talk about that, but you go back to 2015, and that was the last time we had a year with no landfalls in Florida.
And notice the tracks back in 2015. They look a lot like what we saw this year. I'm thinking the same kind of thing was in place.
They're all doing that kind of recurving thing. Now, of course, since then, it's been rough here. And just talking more about the last 10 years in Florida, we've got names like Helene and Milton and Irma and Isaias and Sally, Dahlia, Michael, Ian. Really costly storms really took toll on Florida, both in terms of the people, but also the cost.
Instances of the water absolutely in short order, really like a tsunami moving inland across the region. It was stunning to see.
And we were just watching this in its approach here to Southwest Florida. This is a very vulnerable coastline. So we knew any kind of major hurricane like this would have just devastating impacts.
And there's the track that Ian took just a few years ago. Florida was not so lucky in 2022 with Ian, nor was it lucky back in 2018 with Michael.
Michael, another very powerful one. I mean, you can't forget the satellite image of Michael, the pinhole eye. Severe winds all the way inland. And so that's part of what made Michael so expensive, $25.5 billion in damage. And it was well beyond the coast.
The vast majority of the economic loss was wind. Certainly with these high-end hurricanes, Michael in particular, it really destroyed so many of the crops in southern Georgia that oftentimes take generations to recover.
Well, those were peak season hurricanes. You know, we kind of expect September to have the worst of it. But you got to ask the question, what about November? And we had one in 2022, Hurricane Nicole. That hit Florida in November. Exactly. Hurricanes are a November threat. And just to give you a quick look at Nicole, it was November 10th. It was the latest calendar year hurricane to hit the east coast of Florida. So it does beg the question when we say, so far, we've had no hurricanes in Florida. Could we actually finish the year with no hurricanes?
It seems ever you can see the clouds bubbling up like that. All that's doing is taking the heat away from the Gulf and putting it back in the atmosphere. The waters are getting cooler and less likely to support hurricane activity going forward.
Yeah. We might add 2025 to that list of no Florida hurricanes. From hurricane season to winter storms, let's play ball and check out some of the conditions out there on the pitches and the gridirons that as you plan to kick it this weekend. Let's start with soccer. And I'll tell you what, these semifinals are so exciting. You've got the Washington Spirit hosting Portland, and this is 2-3. Washington has never lost a playoff game at home, and they're at home, and the weather really looks optimal. So we will see. Temperatures approach near 60 in the afternoon. No rain in the forecast. We do have some rain in the forecast farther north, though, in the northeast here. As Greg talked about, we've got that mountain snow into the weekend here through the northeast, but really there's a lot of rain for a lot of people. And, of course, in the southwest, we're dealing with more rain as well. That's actually going to be our rainiest day into Southern California. Talking football here, we've got Northwestern and Michigan. Well, this one also looks fantastic. The weather looks great. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s. This is an 11 o'clock their kickoff, and it'll be a beautiful afternoon to enjoy some football. And then we take it here to Duke and Virginia. Temperatures also look phenomenal in North Carolina. Look at this. We hit the 70s, looking good. Georgia hosting Texas. This is going to be a big game. What a day, what a weekend we're about to have here. And the weather looks really phenomenal. It's going to be a great day. Temps in the 70s all day, and then you're cooling down to the 60s here through the game in the evening. Now, Sunday's forecast across the east looks great. In the west, we've got a lot of rain showers. Now, Saturday is going to be the wettest day in Southern California, but very widespread with those showers still sticking around on Sunday. And we still have some of the rain here across the northeast. Let's go to Foxborough, New England hosting New York, and temps in the 30s and some rain through the day. See if it dries up.